to my review of my 2023 Ford Bronco Outer Banks with Sasquatch package. It also has the leather trimmed seats and hardtop accessories as well. There's some cool features about the Bronco that I like right from the start. For example, when you open and close the door, the screens will go and provide different views of various things. So I'm going to show you what those look like. So check this out. I just purchased this vehicle about 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to be really fair and honest with what my perception of the 2023 Ford Bronco is. I knew some of the stuff that I'm downgrading came with it, but there's a lot of pros I like that outweighed some of the cons. So let's get into the 2023 Ford Bronco Outer Banks with Sasquatch package. First thing I'm going to go over is the dashboard that is right in front of the steering wheel. Things I like about it: it's got all digital, so there's no analog, which is nice. Now, things I don't like about it: I don't like the Ford Bronco picture over there because it doesn't do me any good. I don't like the small display right here. This is where your speedometer is. I don't like the RPMs. I don't care what RPMs I'm doing. I'm not racing it. The other thing I don't like is the fuel economy. First off, if you're buying a Ford Bronco and you're worried about fuel economy, you're buying the wrong vehicle. Stick to a Prius. So to me, Ford really missed it on here because they could have got rid of this and expanded the digital speedometer so it's easier to see. There's so much stuff going on here that it's kind of hard to, you lose track of where the speedometer is. Now, you can't change the fuel economy. You can change it to your tripometer 1, tripometer 2, your average speed. Okay, and then you can hit the auto start stop, but all it does is show you if it's enabled or not. So it's really a waste of space right here. Ford gets an F for their digital dashboard from me. One thing I really like is the center screen. It's huge. This thing is like the size of an iPad, so you get to do a lot of different things with it. So let's check that out. So I really like the size of the screen. It's huge. It's like an iPad. So all the buttons are very big, and I like that. So you got your AM, FM. I have the Sirius XM, like 30-day subscription or whatever comes with it. My iPhone's linked up to it. I got Pandora linked up to it. You have your Apple CarPlay. You have navigation. You have your apps. You can control your settings for sound, your clock, everything like that. And then you got your feature button. So if you're towing, one thing I like about it, and we'll get into it later, I have to do it at night, is your zone lighting. And then you've got your owner's manual right here as well. So that's awesome. I give Ford an A+ for setting this up. Now to go over all the buttons that you have to play with on the steering wheel and around the steering wheel. So you have your cruise control set up right here, which is very nice. You can adjust your distance between the vehicles on your cruise control. Over here, you have all of your telephone and your volume control. You can skip your songs. So pretty standard. I like the Ford Bronco emblem right here. It's very nice. It's a nice little touch to it. It is a leather wrapped steering wheel, so that's nice as well. So back over here, you have your controller for your blinkers and your headlights and your wipers. So it's all in one. So you don't have two sticks that you have to worry about. Everything's on one. Now, when you come on over here, you have all of your light features. When you turn the vehicle on, regardless of how you leave it, it will go to auto. So if you turned it off, you turn your car back on, it'll go to auto. And then you got your parking brake, and then the hood release over here. You can adjust the steering wheel. It goes in and out, up and down, so that's nice. So it gives you a lot of flexibility based off of how you sit. It is push start, which I'm not really a fan of, but every car is like that now. I like this. It's very compact, and the buttons are very big. So, you know, I have arthritis in my hands, so the bigger the buttons, the better. So you have your volume, you have all your different controls here. You got your camera, so you press that, I can look around. The other thing, 360. So 360 degrees, I can see what's going on around my vehicle. So they have a camera up front, and then they have the camera in the rear. So this right here is the front camera. So what's great is when you're driving, you're doing off-roading, you can keep an eye on what you have going on up front and not worry about hitting anything too steep. Now, it is dual climate controlled, and one thing I do like about it is it's got this nice shiny silver button here to control the fan speed, and it does come with heated seats, dual heated seats, which is nice. Now down here they have this little compartment. You open it up and you have the USB and USB-C ports. There's a nice place for you to put your phone or keys or whatever you need to here, your wallet. Another feature I like is they all come with this, saying that it was built in Dearborn, Michigan. So that's pretty cool. Built in America. Yay. You got the O bar right here. So when you're driving and you're scaring your passengers, they have something to hold on to there. Dual cup holders. I like this joystick right here for your adjusting your driving positions, and you can increase and decrease your gear ratios right there. Now, GOAT. It's not the greatest of all times. It's go over any terrain. You can adjust it very easily by turning the knob right here. So it changes it. So watch right over here. So we go from slippery to sport to eco to normal. And that's it. Oh, there's mud and ruts and sand. Lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my. Let me go back to normal so I'm not messing myself up. So you can shift it by pushing the button for 2 high, 4 low, and 4 almighty. Now, the one thing I'm getting used to, not really a fan of, but I understand it, is you have your controls here for your windows. The controls here for your windows are not on your doors because you can take your doors off, and it's hard to control your windows when your doors aren't even on. And then you have your mirror adjustments as well. So you got your left and your right. So that's pretty nice. And then you do have your cubby, so you can put all of your items in. And then they have the small little storage case, which is big enough for 2 pair of sunglasses. Other things I like, up here, they have push button. I can change the different lockers. So I can lock the front, I can lock the rear. I can push this button right here, and it will lock a tire, and it will do almost a complete spin. It's like a 0 turn almost. And then your traction control in your 4 ways. Another thing I like is it's set up for you to put a GoPro or some other type of camera recording device. And A+ for Ford. You have the USB-C and USB port right up there. So you can charge your GoPro or whatever while you are recording. So A+ for that. Now, another A+ I give Ford is right here. So they have these auxiliary buttons right here. They have 6 places that they've already pre-wired for fog lights. So you can just install the lights, connect to the pre-connects, and you're good to go. Another thing I like is they have the garage door openers right here in the visor, because it gets very busy up here when you're dealing with the controllers. So you can also control your lights, They have this button here that will turn both of them on. So they've put a lot of thought into this vehicle. You have your grab bars here, and you have your grab bar here. The problem is there's no grab bar there, up here on the door. So there's no grab bar here on the door, and there is no grab bar up here on the door, so it makes it a little bit difficult getting in that way. But I did buy some, and I will install them and do a video on that installation as well. I had a Jeep Unlimited Wrangler. It's the 4-door. You can take the tops off. One thing I like about the Ford Bronco is it's easier to take the tops off than it was on the Jeep. So it's very simple. I'll show you how to do that as well. Probably about 5 minutes, I can have all 4 panels off and stowed. So not long to take the roof off. It probably takes me about 30 seconds to get each panel off into the back. So you're probably really about 3 minutes, but I'll time myself. But it's super simple. One downfall for Bronco is there's no bags for the roof. It comes with bags for the doors, so as you take the doors off, you can stow them in the back. But there's not a lot of room in there for stowing the doors, and then you're stowing the roof. So you're kind of, you need to think about that before you go somewhere. If you're going to try and take everything off when you get there, you may be limited in your, you will be limited in your stowing capacity in the back, and you may have to find a way to store the roof somewhere else. Now the seats, they have this marine grade vinyl, the blue part. All the gray trim for the seats is leather. It does come with power seats on the driver's side, but not the passenger side. There's plenty of leg room, so I've not had any issues. I like to sit very far away from the steering wheel so that if I'm ever in an accident, I'm not eating an airbag. Call me crazy, I just don't like to do that. The back is the exact same as the front as far as material. Now, there are a couple things that I've questioned Ford about. The main thing back here is, why do you have this bump right here? This serves like you're literally sitting on that. So I would never put anybody in the middle and have to sit on that. That cannot be very comfortable at all. But one thing I do like is they've added a center cup holder. So you do have cup holders here, which is nice. I saw one review of an Outer Banks and it did not have this. So kudos for fixing that. The headrests are pretty simple to use. You just push the button and they come down, so you can put stuff over if you're carrying something bigger. Again, it's really simple to remove the roof. I'll take care of showing you that here in a minute. Now, one thing that's back here, the back can also control their windows back here, which is nice. Again, they're back here because, well, it's hard to control your windows when you don't have any doors. You have a 110 plug, right, or the equivalent. It's got the converter in there. And then you have the USB-C and USB chargers here as well. So plenty of power capabilities here. You do have on each seat a little pocket for stuff. Now another thing I like is you can put some gear here. Right, so if you're traveling and you've got some small stuff, you got some place to put your gear here. Now the trunk is really spacious. You've got this big area here. It's big enough to fit the doors, and then you get this bag that is included with the purchase of your Bronco, and there's one bag for each of the 4 doors, and then you tie them off into these toe straps that you find at every corner of the trunk. You also have tie downs on the seats. You can easily flip the lever there and the lever there and drop the seats, so that's cool as well. So you get lighting back here, which is nice, and you get a cigarette adapter here so you can put anything that you want into it, so you can charge some more devices if you have them. Now back here you have the trunk access for your jack. Now you have this device right here, which will mount onto your actual jack. Because your vehicle is lifted, it's going to require some extra space, so that's what that's for. And then if you're stuck on the side of the road and you got some alcohol, you can take some shooters, so that's pretty cool too. And you have your other equipment right here for your jacking operations. Now what's cool is you got plenty of space here for some ratchet straps, some toe straps, some clevises, whatever you need to for your off-roading desires. Now, one thing I'm going to give Ford an F on is when you spend $67,000 for a vehicle before taxes and stuff, it should come with a dang good system to listen to music. You know, they didn't throw a Rockford Fosgate in here. There's no Bose. There's like faux in here. The sound system, it's okay if you're listening to like music that has no bass, but if you have something that's got some bass into it, you get a lot of rattling because, well, they didn't put a good speaker system in here. I'm going to show you what's in the back, and I'm going to show you where the rest of the speakers are, and you can see what I'm talking about. So right here, I don't think that this is a sub. If it's a sub, it's like a 6-inch sub. There's just not any kind of real bass that comes out of this system. Now you got a speaker right here and a speaker right there, and then you got the two up front. So I'm gonna show you better views of those speakers, but you would think with having two speakers there, and then if that is a sub, Lord help us, but you would think that there would be some good sound quality. And that's what you get for thinking, I guess. Exterior is really cool. I do like the rear tail lights. They mimic the original Bronco except for their LED because, well, it's modern. Another thing I do like is they went with the classic Bronco emblem that was on the old school Broncos as well. And they do give you a full size 35-inch tire, which is nice, and they have matching rims. And you have a camera back here, so you got your backup camera. If you're gonna hit your backup camera before you'll hit your truck, so that's a nice little feature, I think. And then you do have a tow hook back there as well, so if you get stuck or you want to help somebody out, you're more than able to do so. Coming around the side, it's really sharp. I like this a lot. You have the running boards. They could have been a little bit classier, but you know, they're stock. But I got them so my wife can get into the vehicle easier. Another feature I like compared to the Jeep is when you take the doors off on a Jeep, the mirrors go too. But on the Bronco, they put them up front, mounted it to where you can take the tire off, excuse me, the door off, and you still got your mirrors. That's nice. Now, they've got these anchor points right here, so I don't know what you'd be anchoring up here, but it holds up to 150 pounds. So whatever you put up there, maybe you can get a roof rack and you can tie some stuff down, but 150 pounds is the max. Another thing I like is the round headlights. They mimic the old Bronco as well. They are LED, which is pretty cool. The upgrade I got came with the push bar up front. I got the two tow points up front as well. Eventually I'll be putting lights up in the front holes there, and probably adding a winch if I can somehow. Don't tell my wife, she'll get mad that I'm spending money, but it's a Bronco and it needs to be capable, right? So let's go check out the speakers. All right, so right here is the speaker system. And it's just a unique place for speakers. They're not very big. You got the one there, and you got the one there overhead, and then up front you got one right there, and then you got one over here in that corner as well. You do get some road noise. I don't know about the other Broncos that don't have the Sasquatch package and the 35-inch tires. I've had a Jeep. I had 35-inch tires on them. I got road noise for it as well. So I'm going to consider that pretty par for the course, just based off of the fact that that's what they're designed to do, is to be off-road versus a vehicle. Like if you want some, off-road capability and no road noise, go get a Land Rover, maybe a G-Wagon. But are you really going to want to take those vehicles off-road? So if you're going to keep them as a mall crawler, but you want to look cool, like you do some off-roading, then maybe those are some good options for you. But that's my review of my 2023 Ford Bronco Outer Banks with Sasquatch package, with the hardtop roof and the leathered upgraded seats. I will be doing different videos on how to do different things specifically on the Bronco. That way I don't have a 45-minute video on the Bronco. I'm about to hook up this GoPro to the GoPro mount that comes standard with the 2023 Ford Bronco, and I think it comes standard with every Ford Bronco produced. I think this is a really great feature because, well, most people that own Ford Broncos probably aren't mall crawlers. They're going to be going off-roading and looking at great works of nature in our country. So I'm going to hook this up and I'm going to get some road video so I can compare how vibrating it is and see if it's worth using in the future. So when it comes to controlling the Bronco, comparing it to the Jeep Unlimited that I owned, hands down, the Bronco is way better. It's easier to control. When I turn the steering wheel, it goes into that direction. There's not a lot of loose play into it. You're not fighting to keep it straight. The ride is a lot smoother as well. The pickup is better in it, and the braking speed, I want to say, is probably very similar compared to the Jeep. But I don't know if you can hear the road noise. I'm only going 30 miles an hour, but you can hear some of the noise. I'm going to see how long it takes to get up to 45 miles an hour on this road right now. So I'm going to come to a stop so you can kind of check out the pickup. So here we go, and I'm at 45. So we'll see how long that was to record. But can you hear the difference in the road noise without any ambient noise around? So this is at 50 miles an hour. And then I'm going to get to a spot where I'm going to go from 0 to 65. See how long it takes to get from 0 to 65, because the speed limit's 65. I'll hit 60, and then I'll do 65, and then I'll do 70. And we'll just kind of see where we are time-wise for that. All right, we're about to go from 0 to 60, 65, and 70 to see how the pickup goes. Are you ready? Here we go. We're going to just go from 0. Let's time it out now. Ready? Go. $60, $65, $70. So not too bad for pickup. I like that. It sounds very throaty, the exhaust. So they put a decent exhaust system on the vehicle. I'm talking a little bit louder because in the cabin, I don't know if you can hear it, it's a little bit loud with the wind noise. which I don't understand because I do have a hard top and solid doors. But it is what it is when you get an off-roader like this. Now here's where Ford gets an A. They have done a phenomenal job thinking and understand that sometimes people are going to be off-roading or even just driving in the dark and may need some additional light. So they have several places around the Bronco that have exterior lighting. They're called zone lighting, and I'm going to show you where you can find them. So from your main screen, you want to hit features. It's going to take you to this lovely screen. You want to hit zone lighting. Now you have to make sure that your headlights are off, because if your headlights are on, you're going to get an error screen. Here, I'm going to turn mine on so you can see. Oh, wrong button. So my headlights are on, and I'm pushing the power to use the zone lights. You have to turn off the following physical switches. So I have just done that, and now we're good to go. And I hit all zones, and that's everywhere I get lights. So let's go outside and take a look at that. So there's one of the zone lights that you get right there. It will turn on your headlights, but just the top ones. And you get zone lighting right there as well. And then back here, it turns on your backup lights. So you have a little bit extra lighting to set the mood for your ambiance. Pretty cool, huh? That's a nice little thought there, Ford. Nice little thought. Now here's something else that's cool. You can pick how you want the lights. Or you can select all zones if you want all zones. Pretty cool. I know you might be like, Dave, why are you putting videos of your Bronco on your travel channel? And that's simple. I'm going to start trying to go somewhere in 2024 that I would need the Bronco, so I can take more of America and harder to reach destinations and bringing them to you. So I'm going to tie the Bronco in with my travels, and that is why I'm going to be putting videos of my Bronco on my travel channel. If you have any questions about the Bronco, please send a message to me. Put something in the comments. And if you like Broncos and you like off-roading and you're excited about seeing hard to reach places in 2024, make sure you subscribe so you can see all of my destinations. Until next time, I'll see you next journey.